I was punched in the gut by a fan, and it winded me. I guess I shouldn't have insulted its wife. What? Hello everybody, welcome back to FTB Skies. You all remember the last video, I made myself a storage system, and my wall of drawers, which is connected to this, has expanded greatly. So if we can fly up on this thing, you can see just how many things there are actually here. It's pretty sick. So I have most of these things being able to pump into it. Some of the things are just garbage, so I just have them being pumped into, well, garbage. This one I wasn't able to get around to. I still need a bit more time for that, but that one will come soon enough. And I've also been blast smelting all of my precious metals, and I've actually run out of coal. But look how much space it saved. That's so cool. Oh, geez, that is great. Now then, the bad news. Okay, so you remember my villagers, right? Well, as you can see, one of them is missing. Apparently, at some point, the other guy fell off the side and into the void. So all that is left is my cleric. And that is a problem, because for what I was planning on doing today, I need more villagers, because I found something out. You see how this guy's always walking around getting in the way of things? Well, if I shift right-click him, I can pick him up. And I still have a cleric. And apparently there's like a whole bunch of things into this. It's basically a way to automate villagers. So I actually needed more villagers. That is a problem, but there is an easy solution. So if we go over to my map and we just look out all the way over onto this long strip, I'm not going to explain why this happened, but just know that it wasn't a fun time. I didn't do this consensually. But out here, there are a bunch of sky villages throughout the place. So if I can go to one or more of these things, we will find me some villagers to abduct and possibly some treasures. So that's pretty much what's going to be the first agenda today, is to go out there and face some villagers. Let us go to avenge my fisherman who has never been named.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Alrighty, here we go. So right over here is our first stop, and I actually didn't see this one before, but it kind of just sort of showed up. I guess since I turned up my render distance, it's gonna show me more stuff. So that is good. So here is one of these sky villages, and they're actually really cool. And we have a weaponsmith. Okay, he trades coal for emeralds. What other trades does this guy have? Because some are better than others. Nothing of use for right now, so I think I'll leave him be. Although, he could make good for an experiment, but first let's see what we've got here. Soul Steel, don't know what that does. Night vision goggles, allows the wearer to see in the dark. Well, that's the thing. This helmet I have, it already gives me night vision, so don't really need that. But I actually do have a very interesting question, and this guy will help me be able to test that out. So if I can't pick him up. Oh, there we go. I've picked him up now, yes. Okay, can I put him back down? I can. Okay, so if I ever change my mind about one, I'm not just stuck with them or just having to discard them. That would be inhumane. What about a cartographer? What does he got? A third eye? What the heck is that? You know what? The fact that he's trading modded stuff intrigues me. I'll take him for science. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, one of them is on fire! We just witnessed a murder! Was that you? Did the leather worker assassinate his friend? Oh my gosh! This got dark! What about the Fletcher? What do you have? I can trade this on sticks for emeralds. I get an abundance of sticks from my tree farm, and I don't have a lot of use for them at this time. I'm gonna keep this one. Alright, this one is another one that we can keep. We're finding a good amount of villagers here. I mean, this was definitely a good thing to do. We got some force arrows, some augmented arrows. Ooh, an emerald. There's emerald ore underneath these islands. Alright, I'm not gonna touch on that. Okay, let's see what else you guys have. We got carrots. I could use emeralds for bread. That would be a pretty good food source, but I already have one. You know, now that I'm looking closely, I don't really see any, wait a minute, are they breeding? Wait, hang on a minute. I was saying that there was no real need to give them a thing, but are they breeding? I don't want to see that. Oh, it was rejected. Yes, no, stop breeding. I don't want to watch this. No, oh, you look away. Put a censorship bar over the screen. Okay, the breeding is over. No, it's not over. I need to leave now. Unclean, unclean ones, feed the impure. Run away. my gosh. What is this sword? It's fire aspect 2 and sharpness 4, and it does 10 attack damage. That's better than my sword. I think that's better than Emerald. Yeah, an Emerald sword only does 8.5 attack damage, which is how much my diamond sword does with sharpness 1. This is a better sword. I am keeping that. Holy crap. It doesn't look like there's any shepherds in this village, though. Because I've been looking all over the place, and I haven't found one. Ooh, what's this? Ooh! Increases the wearer's attack speed. That could be good, and I think this one might be another hand one. Does it? Yes, it is. Okay, so I have a slot for my hands. Oh gosh, I have claws. Oh, wait. Yes, we switch it now. Yes, I have claws. Behold my claws. Oh gosh, if you guys prefer the gloves, let me know. I'll switch it back. Okay, well, it wasn't a large amount of villagers, but still, we've got a good first start. I do still need to find myself a Fletcher. No, not a Fletcher, a shepherd. But other than that, I think we have everything that I can get, at least right now, that'll be of use. Alrighty, so now that we have the villagers, we need two things. One is the trader. Each villager gets their own, and this is where I'm going to be sticking them, so that way they can trade. And it just takes some iron, some redstone, and some glass panes, which are a pain to get. And then we also need the breeder, which looks like it's a similar recipe, it's just this one and this one are different, just for wood and a bed. Now, luckily for me, I do actually have some spare beds now. So, I don't want to change my spawn point. That one, yeah. Okay, so I definitely have enough for 3 traders, but I am going to need more for the breeder. And now that I think about it, I am actually going to need 4 of these, so I'm going to need to do this thing twice. So I need 12 glass, which means I just need to smelt down 12 of the sand. That really shouldn't be that big of a problem, so let's just chuck that into there and watch as it smelts down. Alrighty, there we go. I've got the glass. Oh gosh, that was a dumb bit. Alrighty, and then we just make all of it like that, and there we go. We should have everything. So let's start with the breeder. And then we can get on to making all of these. I actually have more than enough. I only need 4 of these. But you know what? That should be fine. Now we can just throw all the access stuff into here. Okay, so now for the traders. Where do I want to put these? I just had the perfect idea. I can just put these things down here in the witch's hut. So let's just make our descent down. Get the thing! Get the thing! I messed it up. This looks like it could be a good place for it. I mean, I guess for right now, I can just put these guys right here. There we go. Oh, need to chop that one too. And put that one there. There we go. And then for the breeder, where do I want to put this thing? Yes. The answer to that is yes. We will mount the breeding on top of it and watch through the glass as we're being creepy. Okay, so how do I actually use this breeder? I mean, my guess is I just put one in there, and then another in there, and maybe I need to put food in with them. Yes, I do. If we look right in here, it actually shows that I need food to put in them. Alrighty, I need to go on a food run. Now that we have these carrots, we should be able to throw that into there, and it should do something. Yes, there we go. We got a baby villager. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And oh my gosh, that's right. Since we're in a swamp biome, it's going to have the swamp suit. All right, and then we can just put them into their specific places. And yeah, I can just trade with them. Oh my gosh, that's so much easier because they're here now. And I'm also pretty sure that there is actually an auto trader, but I don't know how that works. But yeah, no, this is probably just the easiest thing I can do. So, yeah, we've got ourselves some villagers, and this one I want to turn to a shepherd because a lot of things I need require wool, and I can't just keep breaking down the string for more of that. So this is why I have him here. But yeah, that's this part done. Okay, now we can get on to the next portion of the video. Alrighty, so now that the villagers are out of the way, the next thing that I want to do is in relevance to my power source. So you all know about my little apodry dynamo, right? It's powered by diamonds and other gemstones, and it gives a pretty hefty amount of power, but it's not infinite, and it is always reliant on fuel. I don't want that. I want something to be more self-reliant. So, in order to do that, we are going to need to turn to the wind generator. So the way that this thing will work is it generates power from wind, but it's from mekanism, so obviously there's going to be a lot of steps. No, actually, I was wrong. This is from mekanism generators, okay? So I'm going to need quite a few of these things, and in order to get it, I need osmium, which I do already have in a good bit of amount, but I'm also going to need infused alloys, basic control circuits, and energy tablets, which all of them are pretty easy to get. It's just that this infused alloy requires a metallurgic infuser, and that thing is also very simple, actually. I could actually make another one if I really wanted to, but I don't. So now we have the metallurgic infuser, and that is also another quest done. I'm actually really enjoying that. Alrighty, so how we make this thing work? I need some redstone and then a piece of iron, and then I put the redstone into here, and then I put the iron ingot onto there, and it should eat it up. Okay, and it is working, so let's see how much we get, because this is how we make the infused alloy. It actually only uses 10. Actually, that is far more than enough. Okay, so then I can just throw in about 9 more iron, and then we'll just have to wait for that thing to finish. Now, there are upgrades, which I can give to this thing, but that does make it consume more power, except for the one that makes it reserve power. And I guess while that thing is waiting, we can do another quest that I kind of forgot to do, because there is stuff that needs to be done. So let's see, do I have an ender pearl remaining? I actually don't have another ender pearl. That is a problem, but it is very easy to fix. I just need to go to the nether real quick. Alrighty, here we go. So now that we have the ender pearl, we just need to take this and then turn it into an eye of ender. And now we can do this thing, which gives us the eye of legend. So when we throw this, it will take us into the direction of a sky village. But we've already been to a sky village, so now we have this achievement. And if I take this thing to the nether, oh gosh, I'm going back. Just gotta chop that down and then go through. It now turns into the Eye of Legend, the Nether Eye of Legend. I don't know if it changes back if I go back, though. Okay, let's see. Yes, it does. Okay, so it really just depends on where you are. That is very good, and I've already been to another sky village. So yeah, this is all very good stuff. And I don't hear the infuser anymore, so it does indeed look like this is all done. So now that that one's done, I need more redstone and just some osmium. Okay, this time I'm going to convert these into blocks, because this is just ridiculous. Let's just make about 16 circuits for now, and then just leave that into there. And now we just wait here. This joke is getting old. Actually, I'm an idiot. I can just make these other components that I need while I'm waiting. So, okay, let's put the redstone back and then take it out again. The reason I did that was just so that it doesn't clog weirdly, because I take out stacks of each. Okay, and now we can just go back into here and then make ourselves these energy tablets. I am going to need a few of these, since I think I'm going to make about... Actually, I can't make any more. But I want to make about 3 wind generators, and maybe more as I go along. But 3 should be enough for now, so that will only leave us with some more osmium, and then just the control circuits. Alrighty then. So we can get the control circuits that are currently ready. I don't know why I made so much, but you know what, this is fine. So then we just need the osmium, and now we have ourselves... the wind generators. Yes! It's beautiful, isn't it? Now, if I understand this thing correctly, the higher up in the sky that I place this, the better it works. I'm uncertain if that's true. I'm going to have to look that up briefly, while I'm getting the other 2 of these. So give me a minute and we will be back shortly.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alrighty, so I've built up quite a bit. I don't know what the build limit for this is, otherwise I would have built up to that. But for right now, I think 337 is where we're going to be putting these, is a good placement. So let's just put these right here and just see how well it is. And wow, that's actually doing pretty well for itself. So the strange thing is these things actually generate KFE, which is way more than just normal FE. So even though it looked like it was going pretty slow, that was actually a fairly good amount. So then we can just export these whenever we're ready, because even though I have these things, we don't actually have anywhere to put them. So I'm going to need to make myself a flux network. To be able to get that, I need all of these things, but I need flux dust first, which also uses the metallurgic confuser, but it also uses obsidian dust. And the way I get obsidian dust is by crushing it through various ways. Now, obviously I can get another enrichment chamber, which would be pretty easy to get, but I already have a squeezer. Now, I know that this squeezer is normally used for lava production, but this is an emergency, and I don't have any lava that is in use right now. So I'm first going to need, I only need 1 flux point for right now, and then I'm also going to need 1 flux plug, because that's what puts the power in. To be able to get this, I am going to need 29 total obsidian. So yeah, that's going to be quite a bit of a process.
You get the idea.
Alrighty, I've gotten the flux plug and the flux point, and I also have a flux configurator. I forgot I needed one of those. It was very simple, I just needed to get another eye. Oh, that wasn't fun, but it is fine. So now what we need to do is we need to set this thing to a network, because there can be various different ones. So I need to create a new one. And here we go. We now have my new network. It's going to be called Wind. Yeah, I'm original. Okay, and then we can set this one to yellow, because that is the color of the wind. And we'll make it public because I'm not on a public server. So, you know, it really is no difference. So now we just put this on power surger nodes, bypass limit, and chunk load. And then all we'll need to do after that is to just take this pipe wrench and have all these things pull the power out from the windmills. So now once I set this to another point that is actively being used, it will start to flow the power. So let us go down here and send this power specifically. Now, the reason I only need 1 of these is because I do still have these pipes, and I don't want them to go to waste. So we can instead put this one right here, and then have it extracting from there. So now that thing is connected, and I right-click this, and it is now powered. So it should be able to flow power into this thing, and it's at -9 FE. I really need to make an elevator for this thing, but by the looks of the power, it's still going pretty well, and I haven't even put in the upgrades yet, which I am going to need to do, because if it's only putting in 9 FE a tick, I don't think that's going to be enough. So I'm definitely going to need to use some pipe upgrades, but those things are incredibly easy to get, and I'll probably do them probably right after we're done with this, honestly. So yeah, that is the wind turbines done. We now have a superior source of power, and I will make more of them as I need to. Okay, so now that we have all of that done, there's one last thing that I want to do. So I've already set up a little platform right down here, and this is actually going to be for something very special. We are going to be making an early game mob farm. Now, obviously there's going to be like way better ways of doing this with like mods and stuff like that, but for this portion, at least in the beginning, with a lot of the mob drops that I'm going to need, we're just going to be doing a basic one, and who knows, maybe in the future I will make a better one, or maybe we'll just stick with this one. We will see. So let me set up like the whole area real quick, and then we'll get into like the more specific details that you'll all like, because you know, this whole thing, we all seen this kind of stuff before. It's not fun.
Much later.
Alrighty, here we go. Right behind me is the new mob farm. It's not ready yet because there are still the things that I needed to do that I want to show all you, but this is pretty much the basic design. So like here is where the mobs are gonna like spawn, and possibly even right here, and then they're gonna get maneuvered into this place to where they will then be able to fall down. So the way I'm planning on doing that is with these mob fans, and they're actually incredibly easy to get. You just need stone slabs, and I have plenty of stone, and 4 iron, and 1 block of redstone. So yeah, it's actually fairly easy. I'm planning on having like maybe 1 or 2 on each wall, and then 2 ones right smack here right next to each other. So that's a total of possibly 4 of them. Now, just in case it doesn't have enough range, and I already know that it's not going to, I do also need these mob fan upgrades. And they're also really simple. You just need feathers and iron, and I got feathers from my Fletcher. So yeah, that's pretty good. And yeah, that's going to be the fan setup. So if we just show the work areas for each one of these, yeah, they're all going to coincide, but they're not quite near each other yet. So this one is going to need its 2 things, and now it encompasses its whole area, and then this one will also need the same. And then each of them only need 1 height upgrade, just so that way it's high enough for it to be able to reach smaller mobs, because that's really the only reason you would need this with this kind of setup. And then all that's left for me to do is to just grab some of the push upgrades, and then the fan portion will be done. So, now that these things are ready, the way we actually turn them on is with a redstone signal. So I'll just be putting levers on the back of them to turn them on when they're ready. But how I'm actually going to automatically kill the mobs is with spikes. So to get iron spikes, I need 3 iron bars, 3 iron, and a redstone repeater, and I'm going to need 4 of them, and then I can turn them all into diamond ones with just 1 diamond for each of them. Alrighty, I gathered everything. It actually didn't take long because this one recipe already gives me all 4 that I need. So now I can just put the rest of this stuff back in there, and then I can take this and then lace all of them with diamonds. And there we go, now I have the spikes. So if I'm correct about these spikes, they should also be powered by redstone. So if I were to place this down right here, it won't turn on until I give a redstone signal. Now remember using this mod's version of spikes before. Yeah, this is from Cyclic. I've used these ones before, and I ran into some complications, but not too many to where it would be a problem. So all I can do is I can either put redstone blocks as this flooring and have it always on, or alternatively, I may have another idea. So if I were to make a bunch of levers, and then if I were to put a lever here and then turn it on, yes, it does indeed work. So if I put one on each of these, yes. There we go. So now I can turn the spikes off whenever I need to. And there we go. The roof is now done. So then I would just need to put some stuff on top of it to prevent mobs from spawning in the night. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do want to kind of change this one to be more slabs so that way I can kind of see more of what's going on in there. But I think this will be fine for now. So then all that's going to be left for me to do is the collection system for mob drops. So what I'm gonna need is just an absorption hopper, because it'll absorb everything in that area. I'm gonna need another eye vendor. I just heard an explosion. Apparently, the mob farm makes the creepers blow up. Oh no. So if they're gonna blow up, then that means I can't do it like this. That is a significant problem, because they shouldn't have blown up unless something was fighting them. Regardless, this means that I need to replace this thing and watch to see what happens. Depending on how this goes, I may not be able to use this mob farm.
Much later.
Yeah, I've been here for a good few minutes, and I can't seem to figure out what's wrong with this thing. I mean, some creepers have spawned, but they didn't blow up, so the only thing I can guess is that they kind of got into a fight with something else that was in there, and then they blew up. So, who knows, maybe in between episodes I'll have to change that out for some tinted glass, but for now, I should probably just stay on target with getting an absorption hopper and then making that whole thing readied up. So I already actually have an ender pearl, which is very good. So let me set all this up real quick. It shouldn't take me any longer. Alright, here we go. We now have the absorption hopper. So with this thing, we should be able to pick up anything that the mobs will drop. And it actually sounds like there's already quite a few things in here. I'm gonna need to make a crafting table real quick because I'm not going back up there. So then we can just make ourselves some chests. I'm probably going to change this out later on, but for right now, this will make a good rudimentary absorption system. So then we just need to be able to show the work area. Is this encompassed? It is, but it needs to be moved a little bit. And there we go, and then we can set the down to be items, so now any items absorbed in the area will just go straight into this chest. And like I said, later on I'll have a way to kind of sort this out to be able to go into the refined storage system, but for right now, that's the mob farm done. I mean, I think this is pretty cool. I will probably change the rest of this out for tinted glass, which is explosion proof, but for right now, that's this. And I should mention for the people who don't know, the reason why I built this so far like this is because when I'm away from it by 25 blocks, I think it is, that's when mobs will spawn. They won't spawn, like, right near you. It has to be in a weird formation like this. Did it just... Yep. Yep, it did. But yeah, all things considered, I think we did some really good things today. So, now that all of that is out of the way, we just need to collect everything. Ooh! What do we have here? Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, I got a data module. Yes, oh my gosh. I knew that this mod was in here. I just did not think I was going to get that. Holy crap. And we've also got some upgrades for this, so let's just stick these right into here. Yep, there we go. Ooh, and we've got quite a bit of endstone, too. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my last FTB Skies video. Bye-bye!